Good morning and welcome to day 20 of the Being Challenge here at Ascension Lutheran Church in Citrus Heights. I'm Pastor Scott coming to you on this Thursday morning from my study. This is the first day of the third keystone habit that Pastor Zach is presenting to us from his daily devotions in the Being Challenge. And this third keystone habit is prioritize prayer. The theme of today, from our Pastor Zach's daily devotion, is where do I go? And Pastor Zach talked about following GPS and how great GPS can be for us, and some of the benefits or values that it presents. But then he tells a story about a woman who followed her GPS some 900 miles when all she needed to go was 90 miles in Europe, and what a problem that was by blindly listening to a voice and going where it told her, when if she'd thought it through, she may have realized that she was going in the wrong direction. There are a lot of voices in the world around us, a lot of information, a lot of suggestions about what is right or where we should go or how we should go, who we should be, how we should behave, what we should support, where we should contribute our money, what we should spend our time doing. And the one voice as followers of Jesus Christ that should have priority in our lives is the voice of God speaking to us. And I think one of the most effective ways, the most powerful ways, the most direct ways to hear the voice of God is through prayer. Now, plenty of us struggle with prayer. We feel like we're not that good at it, sitting in the presence of God. I don't know what to say. I don't know when to pray. I don't know how to pray. I get distracted, all sorts of things. There are a lot of ways to pray to God. Some of us just keep a constant conversation going with God throughout the course of the day. We don't even close our eyes because we're driving or doing other things, and that's probably for the best. I find some of my most effective or deepest times of prayer are maybe on a walk in creation, at the ocean, out in the forest, sometimes on a run, sometimes on a walk in the park by our house. Sometimes it is in the car on the way to or from church. Sometimes it's when I wake up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and wonder what is it that's woken me up and prayed about that. I've had friends who have said, that's the praying time, and we should be attentive to that. I've used all sorts of techniques during seminary. My supervising pastor, he and I would pray through this. It's actually a Catholic prayer book together. Every morning we would meet in the little prayer room that we had at that church. Later in Connecticut, I would pray every morning in my office at my desk, not this desk, but the one there, which is a book of common prayer, a liturgy for ordinary radicals. And I would sit and I'd read through that, a very directed prayer, scripture to be read, but also the encouragement to spend time in silence. Whenever I do spend time in silence, I find it rewarding. I do feel like I hear the voice of God, but I don't often enough probably spend time in silence. I had a practice, I'm not really engaging in it now, but I had a practice in Connecticut when I was using this common prayer for a liturgy for ordinary radicals, where I would turn on a CD, and I knew how long one song of instrumental music was on there. It was 5 minutes or 5.5 minutes. And I would allow myself to not worry about how long I was sitting in silence, and it wasn't complete silence. Because I knew that when that song kicked off, it was time. Enough time had passed. And that allowed me to let go and not worry about, had it been 30 seconds, had it been a minute, had it been a minute and a half, and just settle into that time and more easily be attentive to the voice of God. The good news, my friends, is that God is always there and is anxious to speak to us and with us to provide comfort and encouragement and care. All we have to do is ask. All we have to do is find the time, find the space, avail ourselves of those conversations. As we begin these 7 days on prioritizing prayer, I hope that they have an impact on your prayer life, and maybe another keystone habit might be developed for you. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for further exploration into prioritizing prayer on day 21 of the Being Challenge.